Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon and today we are back with another Enlisted video. And today we're going to be talking about the preparations for the Scorching Rays update. And yes, the next update is in the development. The Scorching Rays update is probably going to be focused on Tunisia, but we are going to be getting some new weapons and some fixes. So without further ado, let's just get started with the weapons. In terms of new weapons, the Japanese are going to be getting the double-barrel shotgun and a bayonet. They're also going to be getting a Chinu 2, and we are also getting the K83 interceptor. Now, the Chinu, I'm going to be guessing it's at tier 4. The K83 interceptor, I'm hoping they put at tier 3 because it does have two 30mm cannons, two 20mm cannons, and technically you can add two 50kg bombs. For the Americans, you're going to be getting the M1921 Thompson with a drum magazine. This is essentially a Thompson with a forward grip, and I think this should be at tier 5. And of course, we have the Churchill Mark 7. This is essentially a heavy tank for the British, and I do think it's going to be at tier 4 because the armor stats and the gun is pretty much similar to the Jumbo. Now, moving on, we do have other gameplay improvements, such as the BR-1 tanks have now functional hull machine guns. These are for tanks like the Panzer III, E, B, and J, and whatnot. Aircraft sounds have been fixed, and rocket effects have also been fixed. The Tunisia cave map has been reworked, in which we will talk about very soon. We are also getting multiple missions for Hermann Göring Strauss, D-Day, Oasis, and other maps. And of course, these are going to be rebalanced, covered, and objectives. Also, the new AI navigation has been improved, vegetation has been reworked for AI effects. Essentially, bullets are no longer blocked by bushes, while the effect of the bushes and canopies will have a greater impact on the AI's vision. Essentially, one of the issues was that AIs can just shoot through trees. Now, it's getting a little bit better, but still, it's a little bit problematic ever since the last update. We're also getting a bunch of quality of life updates, such as practice mode improvements and right to make a mistake system, in which you get to quit one day without a penalty. Granted, they said that they're going to be fixing the desertion issues, in the sense that punishment should be fair, right to make a mistake system will be introduced, and essentially what will happen is that hopefully they will prevent reconnecting to battles after connection issue will be fixed. Now, one of the issues that a lot of people have been saying is that the desertion penalties has been implementing them, because once they have a connection issue, they essentially get a desertion penalty, which is pretty sad. Now, I think Enlisted is trying to fix that because people are slightly angry, but as of right now, if you are like people like me, then I just desert because I don't like the game, so it's really not an issue for me again. On the other hand, the system will allow players to leave one battle per day without having a 2-battle penalty. After that, you will be having a 4-battle penalty to reset, which, once again, like me, I don't really care. Another thing that we also do have to talk about is the new graphical improvements. For example, they added ray tracing added for DirectX 12 and M-Warp vegetation across maps. They've also did a battle pass and reward system in which old battle pass soldiers can be sent to the rear and new battle pass soldiers can be maxed. And we do also have silver chests with expanded battle pass weapon without lowering event weapon drops, so that's pretty good. Now let's move on to Tunisia, which I think is going to be a lot of problems in which people are going to be talking about. For me personally, I do not like the new Tunisia. The reason is simple. I'm a big fan of the desert, and old Tunisia had a lot of desert. New Tunisia looks a little bit mishmashed, and the fact that new Tunisia looks like it's been put at the last moment. Now, it could just be me, or it's just my personal opinion, but Tunisia seems like it's gotten a lot of trees, which, okay, you could do that, but I personally do like the desert environment more. It looks like some of the rocks have gotten a lot more smooth, which, if you ask me, I prefer rocks that are much harder, or rocks that are, well, more akin to the environment. I don't like smooth rocks in the middle of nowhere. I like rocks that essentially do have a purpose, and you can instantly tell why those rocks are there. For example, a cave, for example. Essentially, what Enlisted did was remove some things and added new vegetation all across the place, and they literally took away the desert, which, in my personal opinion, okay, that's not the best thing, but I do prefer desert. And yeah, that is one of the things I do have a gripe about, but I understand why Enlisted is changing this, because once, like I said, a lot of people have issues with the cave, which they didn't fix, by the way. The cave maps are exactly the same cave, in which you do have to go down to the objective into the cave to, well, get the point. So they haven't changed anything regarding that, but they essentially changed the vegetation and stuff, which to me is like, okay, I'm not a big fan of, and since you didn't even fix the cave, then yeah, this entire Tunisia quote-unquote update or rework is not to my liking. As a matter of fact, I prefer that you didn't change the cave. Like, a lot of people don't like Tunisia because of the cave. I personally love Tunisia because of the cave, but that's my personal opinion. Needless to say, this is all up for Tunisia. They've also fixed a bunch of new quote-unquote hit marks and bomb fuses and whatnot in terms of shell craters and hits on the windows, so that's something to note. Needless to say, have a great day, guys. This is all it for the developments. I do think that they are going to be adding new weapons, so that is something to note. And without further ado, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.